I get to introduce Eleni Cay, our first featured poet. Let me get my notes. Eleni Cay is a Slovakian-born poet living in England and Norway. Her award-winning debut poetry collection was published by Chakanka in 2013, and its English translation, A Butterfly's Trembling in the Digital Age, by Parthian Books in 2017. Eleni's second collection, Love Algorithm, was written in English and published by Black Spring Press in 2021. Eleni's poems also appeared in her two pamphlets, several anthologies and poetry magazines, including Acumen, Atticus Review, the Cardiff Review, and Poetry Ireland Review. Selected poems were translated to German, French, Italian, Tagalog, and Romanian. Now, I always read a bit of a poet's work to reflect them beforehand, so I read some of your English poems, and the first thing I noticed was this strong presence of natural elements, so sun, moon, snow, rain, and for me, the poems were taking on a fairy tale-like, or perhaps even better, a mythical quality. And these poems to me seem to stand in the tradition of the poet as a bard, an intermediary between this world and a world of deeper meaning. And also these poems seem to carry a certain restlessness. They seem to be alive in the tension that exists between belonging and being adrift or wanting to wander. And I really enjoyed how in these poems, there's this kind of mythical reality that becomes infused with modern day things like Instagram, like in the poem Double Rainbow. And of course, how your poetry finds so many languages and so many forms to present itself in, not just text, as we'll see just in a bit. But before we go there, I of course have a question. And I have a quote by Wordsworth: "Go to the poets, they will speak to thee." And especially in times like these, people go to the poets. And of course, I want to know, Eleni, what poets do you go to, and what do they tell you?
Thanks very much, Mila, for the generous interpretation of my work, and many thanks for the invitation and for everyone joining tonight. I actually wanted to mention Ilya Kaminsky, so I was delighted when you read her poem, because that was the first poet I turned to when the war started. I, as you mentioned, am originally from Slovakia, and Slovakia as a country has had its share of unrest and difficult times. And I find a lot of respite in Pavol Orsak Hviezdoslav poetry. It's a poet who published after the First World War. His most famous collection is Krvavé sonety, which means sonnets written in blood. And that particular collection is talking about the difficulty of managing the sort of paradox that happens when we show the worst side of humankind as well as the best side of humankind when war happens, in terms of people killing each other and people helping each other through sheer altruism. So those are the two poets I have been revisiting very recently.
Thank you. And I think that's a really true thing, this kind of tension or a contradiction. And sometimes it really helps to look at the altruism of people to sort of steady you in times like these. So thank you. And I think if when you're done reading, you can put the name of the Slovakian poet in the chat, I'd be much obliged. And I think many people with me. So we're going to start off by showing one of your dance video poems, and I get to share it. So now the load is on my shoulders. So do you want to say anything about it before I share it, or?
Maybe let's just people let watch it. It shows how much I believe in the power of poetry being articulated through other means, not only the textual or linguistic side. So it's an attempt at exemplifying what I feel poetry can do when it combines with other arts.
Thank you. So I'll share it. It's around the 3 minutes. I think this is the one. Nope. Are you seeing it now? Are you seeing? Yes. Okay.
Day and night, human souls leave her, the earth, enveloped in periwinkle, rising up towards him, the sun. His serrated tongue cuts across the horizon, portioning time into manageable chunks. When he becomes weary, he shatters himself into billions of stars, sewing his shiny presence into her black memory. She grew up with his absences. His 2-beat rhythm made her bilingual in tears and smiles. She raised her children to speak his language, to extinguish life or soften dust into golden. Sun and earth break up at dawn, unite at daybreak. In 2-beat rhythm, the sky pours their sketched kisses into a blue-grey ocean.
Wow. That was gorgeous. Really beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that, Mila. And I should acknowledge that it was Dixon MB who was the dancer and choreographer and who very much inspired the whole collaboration. Shall I start reading now?
Yes, go ahead.
So I selected a poem from this chapbook, Celestial Heteroglossia. The poem that you just watched is included in the chapbook as well. And I'll read a poem titled Voicing. And I'll just hope that you can see the screen so that you can read it with me.
Yes, we see it.
Thanks. Beyond the immediate passions of the sun, his words recast the colors of the sky, sprouting in moment-to-moment encounters with the stars. Wailing with the exposed ties of morning grasses, you beg him to speak one last time before the closing cadence. At slow speed, recapitulating, You let yourself be guided by him, descending humbly into the minor of the great whiteness. And I'll read another poem that is from the pamphlet you mentioned, Mila, and that is this one, the Love Algorithm. And the reason I selected the poem is that it might resonate with people experiencing similar feelings that we referred to at the beginning. Human cost. You had a stressful day. Jen spilled the coffee on your computer. The shock was so profound you had to reapply your makeup. Asha had no stress today. No one assaulted his sister. The dust on his face, deposited over several days, makes him look older, almost dead. You click away, get the shoes Anne bought last week, rate your followers, be only associated with the high players. There is Asha's face again. Amnesty International says he's toiled cobalt since he could crawl. His spinal discs are shattered. You never carry a thing. You have so much in your account, you only ever need your phone. You Google for a cashmere coat, but there is Asha's face again. A Don Bosco lady says he needs new shoes and books. In her story, he's called Ismail. You blog the ad, report abuse. You're one of the gods. Those who are ranked highly will go higher again. Those are the rules. Where am I in this game? Asha will never read, never understand this poem. I'm just cleansing my heart from the silver gray blood. And perhaps one more poem. Can find it quite quickly. It's titled Job Interview for Love. Have a seat on a grain of dust. Make yourself at home. Don't worry about your appearance. The love angels will patch up all flaws, decide on your golden hours, dance them into a sweet circle like bees in a honeycomb. Stretch your feet, scrape off the mud of rejections. Don't worry about your selling points. The angels are not interested in whatever dwells on the shores of your memory, nor the tissue-like possibilities of what could have been. Smile. Lean your bones against their warm wings. Don't worry about your lack of experience. They will not grade your efforts. They will lie down on your chest, listen to your melody, then offer you a permanent position. Thank you.
You have time for more if you want.
Oh, do I?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Maybe we can try one more, or I wasn't sure about not taking space for the questions. I can do the last post, maybe it's. I am exchanging the outer and inner, the virtual and physical selves, reposting my genes into another body. She is now retweeting my words into your inbox. The algorithms spread the content across the world. There is no end to an infinite amount. Her emoticons travel from her to me, from me to you, from you to your ex. It's a perpetuum mobile chain of love. So when I am gone, erase it all from my account. The holes inside my quiet bones will remain intact. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think, like in these, especially in these two last poems, you see the connection that I mentioned with these sort of ongoing mythical combined with Instagram and emoticons. I really like that sort of putting together of those two things. So thank you very much.
Thank you.